I consider Jesus Christ and the cross, how he suffered, bled, and died, my soul rejoices in knowing that he did all of that just for you and just for me. Come on, right in this moment, let's worship him. He's worthy. Just for me, just for me, Jesus came and did it just for me, just for me, yeah, just for me. Chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves at 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. It chases me down. Reach the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, reckless love of God, reckless love of God. Now to sing, he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Oh, how. Oh, how. And you sing Jesus to save a wretch. That's love.
even my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. He is despised and he is rejected by men, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we did not esteem him. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearer is silent, so he opened not his mouth. When Jesus had spoken these words, he went out with his disciples over the brook Kidron, where there was a garden, which he and his disciples entered. And Judas, who betrayed him, also knew the place, for Jesus often met there with his disciples. Then Judas, having received a detachment of troops and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Jesus, therefore, knowing all things that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, "Whom are you seeking?"
Have you ever wanted something, but it didn't want you back? Think of the last time that you were rejected, whether you were turned down after asking someone on a date, maybe you didn't get the job you applied for, or you opened yourself up, became vulnerable, and were ignored. Rejection sucks, doesn't it? I mean, it stings the ego. But here's the thing. I have grown to love rejection. You see, rejection only sucks when you see it the wrong way. And so today, it is my endeavor to shift your perspective by redefining rejection. So rejection, when viewed properly, should actually be something that helps us rather than harms us. So here are 2 ways that I want you to look at rejection so that you can leverage the pain it presents as a catalyst for making you unstoppable. First, rejection reveals range. It's about people's capacity. See, rejection only hurts because we take it personally. When you are rejected, it has nothing to do for you. It's all about people's capacity for you and everything that comes along with you. Picture a water balloon. You are the water, and the people who have rejected you are the balloon. If you fill that balloon beyond capacity, it will burst. So not only will the balloon be ruined, but the water, you, will be wasted. So I'm about 5'4" and 130 pounds on a good day. And while I am small in physical stature, I have a big, bold personality, a big old mouth, and I am always high energy. Y'all, I'm a lot. And you know, I came to the shocking realization a couple years ago that I am not everybody's cup of tea. Who knew? But I'm okay with that. You see, every time I tried to gain acceptance by the people that rejected me, it required me to either shrink myself, to dilute myself, or to leave parts of myself out in order to fit into what they were capable of handling. Alfred Street, have you ever done that before? You see, by trying to resist rejection and force things to happen, you only end up hurting yourself. And listen, that is an act of self-betrayal. So right here, right now, it is time for you to make a vow to never play small again, to never shrink again, to never dim your light, to never water yourself down. I want you to give yourself permission to play big, to take up space, to show up as your true and authentic self. Listen, it's all or nothing. Give it to them straight, no chaser. And if they can't handle you, they are not your people. And let me say this. People's lack of capacity for you does not determine your value. You are intrinsically valuable simply because you exist. And so, not only does rejection reveal people's range, rejection is also about redirection. It's like a compass. We are all on a journey in life, and the quality of our life is colored by our decisions. God gives us free will, but sometimes our desire distorts discernment. And so rejection keeps us from making the wrong decisions, it keeps us from taking the wrong opportunities, and it keeps us from getting into the wrong relationships. Now, let me pause parenthetically and give you this for free. Some of you are looking in others for what you can only find in God. So I'll never forget, it was September of 2013. Y'all, and at one point I had been laid off my job, and so I finally landed an interview, right? So I go into the interview, and y'all, I nailed it. I just knew the job was mine. At the end of the interview, one of the panel members escorted me out, and he told me unofficially, the job was mine. I was so ecstatic. I was looking forward to that extra $20,000 boost in my salary, you know what I mean? And so I went home and I filled out all of the paperwork in anticipation for my offer letter. And the day before I was supposed to start, one of the panelists called me. He was apologizing profusely, and he told me that the panel decided to go with a more qualified candidate. Y'all, I was hurt. I was heartbroken. I was discouraged. And if I'm going to be honest, I was pissed off at God. And see, I got caught up in my own feelings. I got caught up into what I wanted. And here's the thing. The very next day was September 16th, 2013. That same day, a mass shooting happened in the very building I was supposed to begin working in. If I had not been rejected, I might not be here today. And so my feelings kind of clouded my ability to trust God that he knew what was best for me. So hindsight is 20/20, and I'm sure if you look back over your life, you too will be able to see that there were times when rejection actually saved your life. So if you, like me, have ever had to deal with rejection, you're in great company. Even Jesus had to reckon with rejection. In the 23rd chapter of Luke, we find Jesus on his way to the cross. And he was being dragged by the chief priests from judgment hall to judgment hall, being accused of crimes that he did not commit. Now, Pilate, who was the governor of Judea in that time, gave the people a choice. They could either set Jesus free, who never committed a crime, or they could set Barabbas free, who was a known murderer and a threat to society. Here's the thing. The very people that 1 week prior were singing the praises of Jesus, they rejected Jesus and chose to set Barabbas free. So here's the beauty in that rejection. If there was no rejection, there wouldn't have been a cross. If there was no cross, there would not have been a death. If there was no death, there would not have been resurrection. And y'all listen, if there was no resurrection, we wouldn't have salvation. Jesus had to be rejected. It was necessary in order for him to execute his mission and fulfill his purpose while here on earth. So rejection is not a negative thing. It is a necessary tool used by God to reveal people's range and to redirect us back into alignment with our calling and the ultimate purpose for our life. So, I'm sure you're asking now, well, Kelly, since I'm supposed to love rejection, what do I do when I get rejected? I'm glad you asked. The Bible gives us very precise instructions on what we are to do when we are rejected. In Matthew chapter 10 and 14, Jesus tells his disciples, if anyone will not welcome you or receive your words, leave that place, shake the dust off your feet, and keep it moving. So let me give it to you in the New Revised Kelly version. When you are rejected, kick the dust off your red bottoms and keep it moving. So now, with your new perspective on rejection, the next time you're rejected, because you will be, I want you to rejoice because you know that that rejection is ultimately for your good.